Okay, so what's up, guys? I'm currently in another Udyr game today. This is Udyr top, and I'm going to play Tiger Stance with Teleport. I just wanted to note really quickly before I sort of sort everything out. This Jace I'm playing against, I played with the game before this, and he ended up 12-1 something Renekton, and just sort of absolutely smashed and carried our team pretty hard. So I was obviously really scared of playing against him top lane, because I don't play top lane, and he was really good at top lane. And it's Jace versus Udyr, which in my opinion, in the first in it's just a bad matchup. It's basically what I'm trying to say. Jace versus Udyr is like one of the worst matchups Udyr can get, I think, at least in my opinion, and it's almost as bad as like AP Timo versus Udyr because you can't get to Jace, and if you get to him, he just sort of hammers you away, and it's just not fun to play as Udyr whatsoever. One thing I noticed and why I took teleport, usually when I play Udyr top, I play Ignite or Exhaust. The reason I took teleport this game is because one thing I noticed last game when he played Renekton was that he roamed a hell of a lot. Like he got level 6 or level 7, and then he just spent most of his time running around the map and ganking lanes and doing dragon and things like that. He spent a lot of time roaming around the map. And I thought, okay, let's be honest, I'm not going to win this lane. Number one, it's Udyr versus Jace. You don't win Udyr versus Jace. Number two, this guy's obviously better at top lane than me because I don't play top lane, and this guy is good. So it took me a minute 40 to explain that, but hopefully you understand my mindset going into this game. It's basically I'm playing the game not to lose my lane. I'm playing the game to split push and hope that he makes the same mistake. It's because I think it's a mistake, personally. I think even though he ended up 12-1 Renekton last game because he roamed a lot, I still think it's a mistake to roam when you're winning your lane as hard as you win. Because you'll see what happens this game, basically. I get first blood of this game, and I end up almost feeding. I will say that right now. And you see, hopefully this game, how to sort of stop yourself feeding, and how to actually be a threat in the game. Because I know a lot of players, I'm sure those of you listening to this, are probably guilty of this as much as I am, where they give first blood away, or they get killed early game, and then they're 2 levels down, and then they feed more, and more, and more, and more. And end up like 0-5 by 10 minutes. And then like you can't do that in games and expect to still win because even though it's a hard matchup and even though you don't play the lane, like you should never ever feed. Like I don't think in my opinion there's very little reason to ever sort of go more than 0-3. I think 0-3 is like the cutoff where it's just stupidity and getting camped or just getting demolished by somebody. I think it's really hard to actually feed in this game. That's just my personal opinion. If you disagree with it, then fine. But I will show you what I did to stop myself from feeding this game, and hopefully you learn something from it. Okay, so here he jumps on me. He's just punching me with his hammer. I tiger him off a little bit, but Tiger's a little bit worse after this patch. And then Shock Blast hits me, I get ignited and just die. Like, absolutely just dead. Obviously I could have played it a lot better, but I didn't expect Jace to just kill me, because I think it's the first time I've ever actually played against a Jace as Udyr. And so I didn't know what kind of damage he did. I didn't have a clue. One thing to note this game again, my AD got taken by the Vayne, which is going to happen. Like I can't always get AD, that's fine. And Nightshade is playing Thresh. Here I used my teleport to get back up to top lane just quick as I could because I didn't want to miss all these creeps. There's so many. And even though I'm getting just smashed by Jace again because his damage is just like, yeah, even though I have a cloth armor, it's irrelevant. He just seems to like beat me up. Anyway, we have 90x playing support with this Vayne. And I remember this Vayne saying, sort of like 20 minutes into the game, thank you so much for carrying me, Thresh. You made the lane so easy for me. So there's one advantage of duo queuing, because if this was solo queue and I had to play top lane by myself with 4 randoms, I would have no faith in winning, to be brutally honest, because I don't think my top lane's good. I just think my mentality behind it's good, and that's it. So, you notice I didn't buy a ward when I record. And that's simply because I felt like if I was going to get dived, even if I saw it coming, I was going to die anyway. And since I was looking for kills here, he really wants to kill me. Which is kind of mean, but you know. Shock Blast misses me here, which is thankful, because if I actually got hit by that Shock Blast, it could have turned out really bad. Jace knocks me back into the wall. I use Turtle, flash onto the tower, and then... yeah, I got no HP again. And I'm just sort of stuck here. I thought, like... okay, this is something I wanted to point out really quickly in this game. I think, in my opinion, if Jarvan would have hit the EQ when he could have hit it on these blue flowers, that he would have been able to kill this Jace because he's a red buff. Like, you don't run away from a Jarvan with a red buff when you have no summoners. Even if Zinzai would have came, I don't think he'd have lost 2v1. But I could be wrong about that. But I remember thinking when this happened in the game, I was like, okay, Jarvan, all you're really doing is stealing my experience. You're not really achieving a lot doing what you're doing. You could be camping bottom lane or camping mid lane and actually doing something, I guess. I know that sounds like quite harsh, but he just like, I don't get what he thinks he's doing by standing here. Like, even if Jace would dive me, he would never be able to hit an EQ. Now he flashes, and he just kind of flashes. I don't know, and then he still goes and sits back in the bush again. And I think here I'm saying, like, I don't understand what this Jarvan thinks he's doing. I still don't understand it, even watching it back. It's confusing to me. Yeah, anyway, so this Spain ends up being a really good player. Like, he took my AD, and like I said to 90x at this point in the game, when I'm 4th pick and someone takes my AD, the only thing you can really do is presume they're a better player than me. Because if they're going to take my AD carry off me, then they must be pretty good because they're higher reload than me. So that's a good way to think about it. If you get your position taken off you, you shouldn't be mad about it. You should be happy that someone better than you, well, in theory, better than you, is playing it. Usually I'm very selfish when I play, but I can see logic in these kind of situations, which makes me not so selfish, I guess. So, talk about my item choice really quickly a bit. I built my Hunter's Machete, which is not an item you see often top lane. I built that because it allows me to one-hit creeps on the tower, whereas if I didn't have that, I wouldn't be able to kill creeps, because Udyr's damage early game is like really, really quite bad. And I built 2 cloth armors because I felt like it's a Xin Zhao and it's a Jace, you know, armor is always really good. You can't really not have armor against that. And my item goal this game is basically to build a Frozen Heart. I think that's what I end up building. Because I feel like when you're down already in lane, and I'm down 10 creep kills, like, it's not great. We have a Vayne, and we have a Lux. Like, our damage is there. We have a Vayne and a Lux and a Jarvan. Them 3 combo with a Thresh or whatever, like, I don't need to be doing damage this game whatsoever. Which is a complete contrast to the last game I posted when I played Jungle Udyr, and I built damage because I felt like we needed damage. It's a complete opposite. What am I doing here? Probably going to recall again because I don't feel like I can actually stay in lane. Because even though I have no vision. This is something probably why I recalled. Why would you stay in lane when you have no vision? Especially when I'm those in doubt likes to camp my lane, even though I'm not really worth much. Well, I am worth much. I'm 0-1. I'm not like not worth gold there. So here I bought boots and no ward. I finished my Madreds actually, so I guess that's why I built boots. Basically, again, you don't see this item very often top lane, but it gives 25 armor and it allows me to push the lane quickly. Because when you're building full tank Tiger Udyr, you have 0 damage against creeps. Like, Tiger does nothing. It's doing like 200 magic damage when creeps have 310 HP range creeps, and your basic melee attacks are doing like 80 damage a hit. It's absurdly bad. But if you stack Tiger Stance with 30% increased attack speed and 25% from activation, you actually kill creeps pretty fast with Madreds, which is why I got Madreds. So here I initiate onto Jace, got my Tiger up on him. Jarvan misses his EQ. He knocks back Jarvan instead of me there, which I'm not sure if it was smart because Jarvan did have his ultimate, so I guess it was smart. We could have killed him there if Jarvan ultimate, I think. I really think we could have killed him. But oh well. And again, like I said, I would have missed that creep there if I didn't have Madreds. It's something to note. When you're down on creep kills, you need to get as many creep kills as you can. They went for a dive here bottom lane, and Thresh made some pretty sick plays. And then I teleport onto the tower, onto the pink ward even. Went for that, but no. Interrupt to the Caitlyn ultimate here, bash the Caitlyn, got my Tiger up on him, and let Vayne get a kill. That's one reason to take teleport. I was getting smashed in my lane, but now I've got only 1 assist. But I mean, it's questionable to say if Caitlyn would have got a kill on Thresh there if I hadn't have came. But I mean, I would never, even if I had Ignite this game, I would not be able to use it on Jace and actually get a kill. So me teleporting there was worth not having Ignite. Like 1 assist is good, it's fine. And then Jace here, I remember, made a really questionable play. I didn't think he was like, I thought he was a pretty good player. But then doing this, like, okay, Let me pause this before this sort of starts. Okay, he's got a Tears to the Goddess and a Vamp Scepter. He's doing really well for himself. He's 70 crew kills to my 37. He's 1 kill up on me. He's just in a stage where he can push the lane and beat me 1v1. If he gets his tower down, he can kill me. Like, he could have. I think this is sort of the turning point of this game. So you notice here, he wants to kill this tower really badly. I'm going to start hitting him rather than the creeps. Because Bear Stance stuns him, I get my Tiger on him, stack the Tiger up, hit him with Bear Stance a bit, then he knocks me away. I flash onto him, Bear Stance him, Q him, I know he doesn't have flash, and then Bear him for the kill. So I got 300 gold there, okay? I got 300 gold, and I also got this whole creep wave. And you notice again, Mad Red's pretty good item, been able to push a wave quick. Without Mad Reds, it would have took a lot more time than it did. So I got 300 gold, all done creeps, and I also get this tower. Why he decided to trade my tower, which he would have gotten anyway, no matter what he did, like he would have got that tower no matter what. He was always going to get that tower because he's Jace versus Udyr. It's a free tower for him. He would always have got that tower. I don't get what mentality he was going by when he decided to give his life for that tower. Because it allowed me to get back into the game, like simply put. Here, Zinzao tries to kill me, and he has a red buff, and I'm just sort of hitting him because he does 0 damage to me because the ninjas have him. He's just, yeah, he's just not really doing a lot to me. And then I just casually walk away, even though there's not a tower there. Like, he's never going to be able to do anything to me. So, Ninja Tabai, extremely good item versus things like Zinzao. Something to know. And I think here, this is my only logical explanation I can give for why this Jace actually killed the tower. It's because, like I said, he likes to roam a lot, and I guess he thinks that him getting the tower allows him to roam freely, which he's kind of right. Like, but I would have preferred him to just beat me in lane. I think that's how you should play top lane. Like personally, I think you should play top lane to beat your top lane opponent, not to roam the map. That's how I like to play top lane. Because I think it's a less risky style. If you play to win 1v1 rather than play to gank, I think you end up just with a more solid play style, personally. And look at this, like here, he's just going really deep, and almost dies to Lux here, but then he gets a nice shot blast. And then Lux is pinging me like, yo, come kill Jace, what are you doing? But in reality, it was his fault for dying, because he had Ignite and he didn't use it. So, Jarvan catches him here, I walk around and punch him in the face. 300 gold more for me, cool. Alright, so the replay just crashed, so I'm a bit off my thoughts, but you know, it's all good. I think just before it crashed, I just killed Jace. It's always good to kill people, obviously. I think most of my lanes are pretty even at the moment. Lux and Udyr like 90 creep kills each, Vayne and Caitlyn 90 creep kills each, but Vayne's winning on kills by and well. He's 4 kills with Blade already, that's pretty strong on Vayne. And again, like I said, my whole goal this game is to not feed. And you'll notice, it's where I think Jace messed up, because he's too much of a risky player, is that he's at 72 creep kills. I'm now at 67. I'm pretty sure when he was at like 70, I was at 30 or something. And he also is 2-2, and he got first blood on me. And now I'm 2-1-1, so I actually have a better score than him. And I almost have, if I kill these 3 creeps, I have the same creep score as him. That's a massive thing to notice. And now I also got his tower. So he's actually got no advantage at all on me at the moment. If you look at gold, I'm basically even. I mean, you might as well call that even on gold with him. So I mean, it's like, the advantage he had on me, he's thrown away so hard. It's unreal how hard he's thrown it away. Bit of chain armor here, which is obviously going to go towards Frozen Heart. And now I started buying wards. Like I said, I didn't buy wards originally, apart from this one ward, because I felt like 75 gold is not a lot of gold. But when you're already down, that 75 gold is kind of the risk you have to take. So, Vayne gets away here. This is where I could have TP'd. I remember this situation pretty clearly. I have my teleport up if you look. My teleport is 100% up, I have my flash up, I have everything up that I can do things. And there's a ward here that I could have TP'd to. Now, the question that was going through my mind, and I asked Nighty what I should do, was basically, do I TP in here and kill Alistar? Because he has no armor, he has no flash, there's nothing. I could kill this Alistar for free if I TP in. And kill the Zin, but maybe risk my Thresh and my Vayne dying depending on how deep they decide to go. That's the kind of risk you have to take it. Do I TP in for 2 kills, possibly, and risk 2 kills of my own, and also let Jace get back into the lane? Because if I TP away here, he's going to push this lane to this tower, and I can't stop him from doing that. So, in my mind, this was too much of a risky play. It could have turned out well, like 50% of the time, it probably turns out well, but I don't like taking risks in this game, like I said before. So, I let Thresh die, and I let Vayne die. The Thresh here dies. If I'd have TP'd in, that would have been like, I could have been there, I could have done stuff. But I only have 100 AD, so I'm not going to do it to like massive damage. And then Anivia also came around, so I would have been sort of, I don't know, it's just risky. I don't like risky play. And then Jace pushes mid lane. Fair enough, you can push mid lane all you want. I don't care. Like, this is the thing, like, he should be dominating me top lane. He shouldn't be pushing mid. He should be smashing me to bits here top lane, but it's not. A bit of Wriggles because it gives more armor, it gives lifesteal, it gives AD, and you have a free ward. And it also lets you push the lane quicker because you do 500 damage. Jarvan dies in mid, I think, yeah. And then again, I'm just pushing and pushing and pushing. I get pinged back here because Anivia's coming for me. But honestly, like, if Anivia honestly thinks he can kill me, I don't know what he's thinking really. So I get queued here for no damage. I walk at him and get walled out. Fine, whatever. Kind of messes himself up with that wall there. He misses creep kills because he didn't land his ultimate on everything. But that's a really, really small point. The thing with how you play top lane, my style, and it's more like a Hotshot GG style. For those of you who watched Hotshot GG streams or watched how he plays, he likes to push top lane a lot. But then the key thing that people don't realize is he builds full tank lamps. Fair enough. That's also how I like to play. I like to build full tank lamps and push because it makes you theoretically unkillable. But then you don't do any damage if you don't have red buff. That was some really, really bad creep blocking. Yeah, you don't do any damage. But if you can push up enough that you steal their red, this works especially well on blue side, then all the damage you need is coming from the red buff. Especially as Udyr, because you attack so quick as Udyr that like the red buff just makes you do enough damage that you're actually useful. So that's why I'm still pushing. I should have recalled here, but instead I'm pushing and pushing and pushing. And I remember this actually turns out bad for me, I think. I wanted to go and take this red buff away. And I walked into the red here, and I was like, hang on, what's going on? And then I walked into the bush and he had a red buff. Yeah, it was questionable play. Then he's beating me up. He's not really doing much damage to me at all because I have armor. Misses a shock blast, that was a pretty key thing. And yeah, even though I have red buffs on me, I'm just kind of running away, and he's still beating me up. And then he has to just leave it because he has no damage either. He's built a locket, which is fine. It's perfectly fine. That's what you should be doing on in doubt. It's just how I built my items counters how he's built his items. And then he tries to kill me here again, and I'm just like, yo, I know you're in the bush, let's spam laugh at him. Why not? But then it makes him walk away, so that laugh was pretty effective. I don't know. It's like high level play, you know, laughing at the opponent. I think he just used the smite. Yeah, he used the smite on the little minion. I don't know. And again, I'm still pushing top. I'm not leaving it. I'm not going mid lane, even though they're fightable mid lane. And like, it looks bad. I should probably go mid lane. Everyone's dying. Things are going wrong. I don't care. I'm just gonna push top lane because I have no damage. Like, if I TP in here, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna throw a few burst dancers out, and then what? Like, this is the thing people need to think about: is what am I gonna do if I TP in there? Like, honestly, I'm not gonna do anything. And Lux here does a really nice bait. Like, she did this on purpose. She baited herself, and it made 5 people chase her. She's really nice fashion like Q. Gets hit by Shock Blast, gets 2 by Zin, takes a long time to die, and then barely dies. Meanwhile, I'm up here pushing this tower. Like, you don't need like damage and red buffs if you're just gonna hit towers, because Tiger Stance, you attack so quick that you just beat towers up. Again, slapping the tower. Go just kill it. And I'm ahead of Jace now in terms of creep kills. Oh, I'm not. He just got some. That's sad. But basically ahead of Jace in terms of creep kills. I'm ahead of him in gold by 100. Now he's caught me up. That's sad. Yeah, anyway. I'm getting all hype about it for some reason. I don't know. I'm just excited for it to make videos again, I guess. But yeah. So I got a lot of gold to spend here. I guess that's almost a frozen heart. We'll see what I buy. I bought a Philosopher's Stone actually. I think I remember what I did. I remember, yeah, I finished my Glacial Shroud, got a Philosopher's Stone, and I guess I picked up a couple of wards. Yeah, I picked up 3 wards. The reason I bought this Philosopher's Stone, it's a bit late because honestly, you usually buy it for like a gold per 10. But I felt like the last thing I wanted to do was go out of mana when I tried to run away, and it was a real possibility because Udyr's mana now, like, you don't get mana back from total, like I said before. So you need all the mana regen you can get. And I felt like I was going to be like spamming my E and W a lot this game because that's how I plan to play. And Philosopher's Stone was 9 mana regen per 5 seconds. It's really good. Chalice gives like 7 per 5 and mana regen. But I wanted to eventually build this Philostone into Astralius because it allows me to be more useful in team fights. And Thresh wasn't going to get Astralius, so I was going to be the guy who built Astralius this game, basically. That was what I wanted to build with Philosopher's Stone. So it still had like, it wasn't like a moot item, I guess. Like if I'd have built a Chalice of Harmony, which would still been effective because it gives mana resistance, it's still a good item. It would have not been into anything because I wouldn't have finished the IM. I would have just stuck as a Chalice of Harmony, 800 gold sort of wasted kind of thing. So I made sure here, I could have been pushed to top lane, but I made sure to ward because the last thing you want to do is like blind push top and then just die because yeah, it's obviously anyone can tell that's not a smart thing to do. Again, Jace is still mid lane for some reason, and he's got a Bloodthirster, which is strong, obviously. And still mid lane. They're trying to fight. I'm pushing, beating on this Nexus turret. Is it called a Nexus turret? Inhibitor turret. That's what it's called. Inhibitor turret. And now 3 people. Jace, Xin, and Kate are all coming for me. Do I care? Not really, because I'm Udyr and I'm tanky. We'll see what happens, right? I noticed him coming on my ward here. Jace hits a Shock Blast on me, jumps on my head. I Bear Stance him, and then I just run away. Like, how do you catch a Udyr with 500 move speed? You just don't. And then they got mid tower because they had to come up 3 people for me, and obviously 4v2 with Alistar. They're gonna get mid tower, and they're coming around as a group again. This is like, people make this mistake in solo queue so much. Like, they want to stay as 5 constantly, but if you have someone picking you apart, like I'm doing this game, sticking as 5 is like the worst thing you can do. So here I'm actually going to kill Jace almost. I actually beat Jace 1v1 if I want to fight him now. Anivia comes up, makes quite a nice wall on me. I dodge the Q, really standard play there. Get odd, Shot Blast misses me somehow, and I run away, you know. Like I said, there's nothing they can do. I'm unkillable at this point in the game. This is the difference between, like, I could have built a Blade of the Ruined King instead of a Glacial Shroud and a Wriggles. And I'm pretty sure if I did, I'd have been dead there. It's because, like, it gives you so much tankiness. It's just, this is what building full tank gives you. Like, for those of you that weren't aware or don't play top lane, this is how you don't need top lane, basically. So again, I built more wards, and I built a Sheen here. The reason I built a Sheen was because it lets you cook towers quicker, basically. It's simple as that. I realised then when they tried to gank me that even if they come with 2 people, I'm not going to die to them. And while a Frozen Heart is useful for team fights, I didn't want to team fight until I killed this tower. And by building a Sheen, it's, yeah, okay, it's 1200 gold. But I'm going to be killing creeps anyway. And I'll make that gold back in time. And if it lets me kill the tower quicker, then great. It's basically simple as that, really. So if I built a Frozen Heart instead of that Sheen, or like almost finished my heart, I would have been forcing myself into team fighting, because Frozen Heart is a team fight item. If they catch Kaelin, and then they don't have enough damage to kill anything, like, yeah. Thresh is pushing bottom lane, because, you know, why not? Why not split push them? If I'm split pushing, you might as well push bottom lane at the same time, because double split is hard to deal with. Really hard to deal with, actually. And they're just like going all in on mid lane now. So they're all in mid lane pretty hard. Vayne here, just really nice cleanup actually. Really, really nice cleanup. Kills the Anivia, gets him egged. I am pushing top lane. I beat Xin 1v1, even though he has a red buff. And Vayne, like, you know, you gotta respect him. He's really making plays. He's abusing the fact. That was a really nice hook actually. Yeah, he's abusing the fact that they can't kill me. Again, like, Zin's hitting me, Creep's hitting me, I'm just beating the tower up. Why do I care? Obviously you gotta be careful now, because towers actually hit quite hard. But bear stance back into him, pop turtle. He can't break my turtle shield, so I don't really care. And then I'm just gonna hit this tower and kill it. What's he gonna do to stop me? Knocks me in the air. Tiger stance on the tower. Shot blast hits me. Turtle stance again. Beat the tower, cut. And if I get away from this, I'd be surprised. Flash. Shot blast hits me. The Thresh Lantern comes out. I'm not even sure if that hit me or not. It might have done. I live at 50 HP. And I remember in the game, I was like, oh man, I don't know how I lived that. That was pretty close. And I went to take a drink in real life, and they had a ward. Like I'm stood reconning on that ward. And I went to take a drink in real life, and for those of you that are like me, I had my drink in my right hand, and my left hand was sort of like hovering around my keyboard, but not really on my keyboard. And then like I smashed my W key to live from the shot blast, and I almost spilled my drink in real life because I like hit my keyboard so quick that I just happened to like fat finger my W, and I lived. I don't know. I thought that was quite cool when it happened. I was like, wow, that was lucky that I hit W out of like the 6 keys around W I could have hit. I managed to perfectly press W. It sounds really nerdy to say that, but I don't know. Vayne again. He does a good job beating people up. Lux comes in, misses it almost everything. Doesn't matter. Vayne's beating people up. Vayne's beating people up. 803. Vayne's really, really beating people up. I'm TPing onto this ward here. To come in, get the stun on Nivea, and quick thing, I built Iceborne Gauntlets, not Frozen Heart. The reason I did that is because I felt like Frozen Heart wasn't necessary because Xin Zhao didn't have enough damage. Like I wanted to build a Frozen Heart because they have 3 ADs essentially, but it doesn't affect Jace that much, and it really only affects Xin and Caitlyn. And Caitlyn was so weak at this point in the game anyway that I didn't think a Frozen Heart would have actually been more effective. I think building an Iceborne Gauntlet was more effective because it allowed me to stop people from getting to Vayne more effectively. Because the little what do you call it? A little field it puts around a target, like, it's crazy good on Udyr because you're proccing it like every single time it's up, presuming you're using abilities. So, and it also gives cooldown reduction, which is what I want the Frozen Heart for as well. But obviously, I don't know. It's just a really good item. And because it has a little bit of cleave as well, like it does a little bit of damage, you know, it doesn't do a massive amount, but it's still a really good item. I just didn't think a Frozen Heart was necessary at this point in the game. Because Caitlyn, like I said, doesn't have enough damage to kill me, neither does Xin Zhao, so. And then I'm gonna push and push and push. Again, like you'll notice this game, apart from teleporting once to mid and once to bottom lane, I've not actually left top lane. And that's how I play top lane 24/7. And Jace comes at me here. I couldn't care less. He's beating my golems up. That's, oh well. You can kill my golems where you want to kill them. And I looked this game built a Soul Stealer, which she only ever got to like 4 stacks. I don't know why you'd build a Soul Stealer. And then I surrendered the game for some reason. I mean, I'll pause this and just talk about that. I'm not really sure what that surrender was all about. I presume it was some sort of rage from their team, like, oh, we can't kill Udyr, he's just pushing and we can't stop him, and Vayne's 8-0, why bother playing? They were kind of right to surrender, but at the same time, like, I felt that was really premature when it happened. I still do, even looking back on it. Like, it was only 14-9. Like, yeah, it's 7k gold, which is quite a bit. But then, if they got all our towers, they'd make that gold difference up. And an 8-0 Vayne, like, okay, it's hard to deal with an 8-0 Vayne. But when they have heroes like Jason, Xin, and Anivia, where they can just sort of jump on him and kill him, especially Alistar, like, you can't even cleanse Alistar's Pulverize. So one good initiate into Vayne, and then everything sort of goes downhill, because I don't have any damage, Jarvan has no damage, and Lux has okay damage, like, she has, like, what, 250 AP, which is okay. But I feel like their team comp was just so much better than ours. They have Anivia Wall, Jace Poke, they have Caitlyn Poke, they just have a lot. And if you try and get Initiate onto them, they have Alistar, Pulverize, and Xin Zhao Knockback. Like, their team comp was really, 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 really good. I mean, it's the kind of team comp that might lose early game, but late game, it's amazing. So I don't know, that was a bit of a questionable surrender in my opinion. But that was basically the game. Hopefully you learned a bit about how not to feed if you're playing Udyr top, and how to sort of come back in the lane and don't make the same mistakes as Jace where you roam too much and then you let me get back into the game. Because I feel like if this Jace played this lane how I would have played it if I was him, that would have been at like 80 creep kills with like maybe a Wriggles and Ninja Tabi and like a Philistone. I wouldn't have had the Iceborne Gauntlet. He could have just denied that whole 100 creep kills, I feel like, because he just let me do what I wanted to. He let me get back into the game for no reason, which, yeah. And then we won the game. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and you learned